Funk Your Feelings was an absolute journey for me. It took me out of my comfort zone of making music that was 100% digital. My main goal was to take a step back in time, but not to lose myself entirely in the process. And that is why I Didn't Forget the Robots felt natural to be the last song. Ideally, this was the end of the journey.
So the heart of Didn't Forget the Robots is this bass riff that I wrote with Trillian. And it goes a little something like... Then we have all the orchestral elements. But for the most interesting part of Didn't Forget the Robots is the drop, and that's where a lot of crazy sound design things happen. And I love to work with color, so yeah, don't be surprised about all the color in the project. I made a few patches on Serum, such as this one being the main one, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And it goes a little... Bear with me, let it load. Yeah, this is it. Nothing too complex. Okay, it's pretty complex, but not for bass producers. And then I split everything below 120 hertz, if I remember correctly here. Yep, on 100, 180-ish. So I split the sub from the actual bass and like the bass synths. And that sounds like this. Oh, whoops. Hopefully you heard that if you're listening in like headphones or like really good speakers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I have the little kind of like harp play on the one. And I have a counter melody guitar that comes on and the breaks. And the horns that just set the theme of the song. The drums weren't too crazy. I sampled from... I literally went on Looperman and I got a whole funk drum kit and then I just picked out the kick drum. And same thing, I did that for the snare. I actually layered, I think, at least 6 snares here. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, for the sound I wanted, I needed it to sound thick, but also sound real. So yeah, and hats also loop I got from Looperman, as well as some of these fills. And I just chopped them around and, you know, made them more unique and just, yeah, merged like a ton of samples. I have a MIDI trigger for the I'm not too sure if I use that, for the sidechain. And yeah, so all in all, it comes together as this. interesting part of Didn't Forget the Robots is the second drop, because I did something that I haven't done in a long time, like probably 6 years of production, and that's a tempo automation. So I automate from, just give me a sec. Yeah, I automate from 103 BPMs down all the way down to 90, and I did that because I wanted to switch and accommodate Bass Cube's rap part, and I wanted it to sound like an old school hip hop beat. And you can't have them at 103, but I just really wanted it to switch up and sound like a whole new song. So I originally had a neuro bass drop here, but I switched it up for Bass Cube's rap part because I really wanted every song in the project to have like vocals and stuff. So yeah, Bass Cube's rap part.
Bass Cube, see I'm chilling on the block, man.
For the vocal processing, I did everything in Studio One, and then I brought it back into Ableton and then just dropped it. So I did all the compression, EQ in Studio One, and then because I preferred mixing vocals there, and I just do beat production and just all the fun artsy stuff and the details in Ableton. And the interesting thing with this drop is that I had a chop from Eminem's song, My Name Is, I believe it's called My Name Something. But anyway, it's an old Eminem song, and yeah, I got like a little bit from there. The whole, hi, my name is, and I told Bass Cube when I had the idea to start his...
Bass Cube, see I'm chilling on the block, man, you know what friends do. I remember when these people said my mission was impossible.
I made these scratches and old school hip hop samples I had. I just like merged a bunch of them till I got something I liked, and yeah, I went with it. And I remember telling Bass that on this part I want a really, really nice punchline because of the way the scratches go. And yeah, all in all, with the hip hop drums, which I also sampled, and then just stitched around here and there as audio. So all in all, the third drop sounds like this.
Bass Cube, see I'm chilling on the block, man, you know what friends do. I remember when these people said my mission was impossible.
So yeah, Funk Your Feelings was just basically a journey through time, and I explored sound from an era I wasn't born in, which is difficult because I wasn't there and I never experienced this music firsthand. And what really inspired me to make this kind of music was when I made the instrumental for Can't Get Enough, the lead single for the EP, and I made that in October 2019. And it was just really interesting when I made that beat, and I believe that was the best song I've ever made and I will ever make. And I struggled to make better music for a while, for like maybe a couple months, till February 2020 when I decided, you know what, let me explore this funk thing a lot more, because I made Can't Get Enough, so surely I can make another beat. And then I made the instrumental for Don't Funk With My Heart, and I sent it to Mungo and asked him, yo, could you jump on this, him and Binko, because I already envisioned like what they could do having worked with them previously. So when they sent me the vocals, I was super amazed. They literally took me back in time. And then I made the instrumental for Magic, and followed by Breaking Away with Chico. And I also made the instrumental for This Is an Intermission with Liam Leon. And that was a really cool song because it's heavily technical. I'm not too sure if a lot of people noticed, but the vocal is playing from the start of the song to the end of the song, just morphed, and it sounds different each time, just to keep things interesting. And ultimately I ended the EP with Didn't Forget the Robots because it was a special song for me, because it's the one song on the EP that really describes me, because I make bass music, which is a subgenre of electronic dance music, and all the crazy robot sounds, I decided to keep them for one song and just to leave the rest as, pop, funk sounding songs, full stop. So I saved the sound design and crazy elements for that last song, and that song took me like 3 months to make, going in and out of versions, deciding to swap things out, and adding bass cube's verse was actually a last minute decision because I wanted each song on the EP to feature vocals. But it was really, really creative and heavily technical. There's at least 60 tracks, I think, between 40 to 60 tracks in that song, and it's the most complex song of the EP. And yeah, I just had to end it with Didn't Forget the Robots. And I remember Bass telling me that he felt like he was being featured by robots, and that was a really cool thing for him to say. Yeah, there's just a ton of cool samples. I sampled a couple vocal shots from an old song called It Takes Two. I sampled some bit from an Eminem song just before Bass's verse drops. And yeah, it was just an overall amazing song because it merged the funk orchestral sounds, the guitar sounds, the bass guitars with my sound design stuff that I really love to do. So yeah, thank you for everyone who downloaded, streamed, and shared the EP.